Welcome. This is the second in a six-part series reviewing for your midterm exam. In your review packet, where we left off was in between the first and second pages. The second page starts off again in Chapter 1. Towards the end of it, the body cavities are reviewed. There are two major body cavities in your body, and that's a bit thicker than I would like it. Whoa. The major body cavity on the anterior surface or anterior side is the ventral body cavity. And then in the back you have the dorsal body cavity. If you recall, the dorsal body cavity is further subdivided into a vertebral cavity and a cranial cavity. The ventral cavity is divided into an abdominopelvic. This is not the best stylus. I apologize. Did it again. Abdominopelvic cavity and the thoracic cavity in the chest. The abdominopelvic cavity is divided obviously into the abdominal and pelvic cavities, and the thoracic cavity is divided into the pleural and pericardial cavities. You should know or be able to give me an example of organs found in each of these cavities. The abdominal cavity includes your digestive viscera or organs, such as your liver. The pelvic cavity includes your bladder and your reproductive organs. The pleural cavity includes the lungs, and the pericardial cavity houses the heart. The vertebral cavity contains your spinal cord, and the cranial cavity, and some of you, houses your brain. Moving on. Sorry for that space. I actually fit everything. I didn't think I'd fit it. In Chapter 4, the tissues were examined. Recall there are 4 basic tissue types. 2 were mentioned during the first semester, although we should have an idea that the 2 that are not here, so the 2 we have here are epithelial and connective. The other 2 would include muscle, which we did get to, and nerve. You have a chart on your paper that didn't come out here, but that's okay. There definitely are a number of questions on the epithelial tissues. Ahead of time, I will tell you to please review your PowerPoint images. There are images taken from a microscope and printed for you on the midterm, which you must interpret the type of epithelial tissue or connective tissue present. So again, this is Chapter 4. Go back and pull those PowerPoint slides up. There were 6 subclasses of epithelial tissue. Simple squamous. It's coming back to you. Simple cuboidal. Simple columnar. Pseudo-stratified columnar. It's going to write that, columnar. And then your stratified tissues, 2 of which we discussed in class: stratified, squamous, and transitional. Simple squamous was the thinnest of the thin epithelial tissues and located in areas of the body where diffusion and filtration were an important function, such as in your lungs or your blood vessels. Simple cuboidal cells, these were these big tubes or kidney tubules, right? which function in filtration. No, they don't. I'm sorry. The function here would be absorption and secretion. Let's go with secretion. Simple columnar cells in your digestive tract. Similarly, the function again was absorption and secretion, such as of stomach acid in the in your stomach, in that cavity. Pseudostratified columnar is found in the respiratory tract, where the cilia there traps dust. It prevents it from getting in your lungs. There's also the secretion of mucus here, which again further traps foreign substances. Stratified squamous is found in the epidermis of the skin, where its multi-layered structure allows for protection. Transitional tissue was specialized tissue found only in the bladder, and if you recall, this tissue stretches to accommodate changes in volumes that would take place in your bladder as you are studying for your midterm and forget to go to the bathroom to take a bathroom break. Okay, moving on, if I can figure this out, to connective tissue. Punctation. Okay, so this printed funny. There were, that's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, there's multiple kinds of connective tissue that were reviewed. There was the connective tissue proper, which included, I'll get this out of the way, included areolar, reticular tissue, and adipose. Also under connective tissue proper, but connective tissue proper dense, where the fibers are packed much more tightly, would be dense irregular and dense regular. Other connective tissue categories would include blood, bone, and cartilage, these supportive tissues here. Location of areolar tissue is below the epithelium. Reticular tissue is specialized tissue found in the spleen. Adipose is spread throughout the body. Dense irregular tissue is found in the dermis of your skin. That's our leather coat. Dense regular tissue is found in tendons and ligaments, which are subject to pulling forces. Recall that tendons connect muscle and bone, and ligaments connect bone and bone. Blood is housed within your blood vessels, such as an artery. The femur would be an example of a bone, and cartilage is found at your joints. Areolar tissue was your body's packing peanuts, kind of a general cushion filler material. Reticular tissue and your spleen both function in immunity and protecting you from infection. Adipose, or fat, stores energy in the form of fat droplets, which your body breaks down for energy. Dense irregular tissue provides a toughness and a strength to your skin in the dermis. Tendons and ligaments anchor and resist pulling forces that they're subject to at the connections between muscles and bones and bones. Blood is your body's main transport system. Bones have multiple functions, which we discuss. I'll just put movement here. And cartilage as a function in the reduction of friction at joints. There's part 2.